Welcome to today's meeting of the Public Facilities Commission. Turning it over to TT.
Good morning, Commissioners. First, I would like to note that this meeting is being recorded and broadcast live. Before we get started, I've asked Colleen Daly, the PFC Secretary, to take a roll call of the meeting participants. Colleen, if you would please conduct the roll call.
Thank you, TT. I ask the participants, please unmute yourself and confirm your presence when I call your name, beginning with the Commission. Catherine Craven, Chair.
Present.
Larry Mamola, Commissioner.
Present.
Dion Irish, Commissioner.
Present.
TT Lee, Legal Advisor.
Present.
Catherine Pendleton, Article Clerk.
Present.
Next with D&D, Rick Wilson, Deputy Director for Administration and Finance.
Present.
Jessica Boatwright, Deputy Director for the Neighborhood Housing Development Division.
Present.
John Feuerbach, Senior Development Officer with NHD.
Present.
Okay, then there's Shani Fletcher, Development Officer with NHD.
Present.
Ann Conway, Housing Development Officer with NHD.
Present.
Kirsten Studelin, Project Manager with NHD.
Present.
Christopher Rooney, Development Officer with NHD.
Present.
Finally, I will read for the record the remainder of the individuals who are in attendance but will not be presenting in today's meeting. Attendees do not have to unmute themselves when their name is called. Seamus Highland, Assistant Corporation Counsel. Sean Chen. I don't see Sean, okay. James McDonough, Senior Staff Attorney. Donald Wright, Deputy Director for Real Estate Management and Sales. Rihanna Bernal, Housing Development Officer, NHD. Stephen Donovan, Housing Development Officer, NHD. Is there anyone that I missed? If so, I apologize. This concludes the roll call.
Thank you, Colleen. The first order of business before you today, Commissioners, concerns draft meeting minutes from our prior meeting of August 19, 2020 for the Department of Neighborhood Development. Is there a motion to approve these meeting minutes?
I make a motion to approve.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. It's approved.
Thank you. The meeting minutes of August 19 for the Department of Neighborhood Development are hereby approved. Beginning this morning with the Department of Neighborhood Development, we have Rick Wilson, Deputy Director for Administration and Finance for D&D. D&D has 7 votes on the agenda for today. Vote number 1 is being presented by Jessica Boatwright, Deputy Director for the Neighborhood Housing Development Division of D&D. Vote number 1 is a request to accept an expended grant from Enterprise Community Partners Incorporated, which will be utilized to hire a full-time architectural fellow to work with D&D design staff within the Neighborhood Housing Development Division for the duration of the grant period of 2 years. The grant amount is number 1.
Good morning, Commissioners. I'm Jessica Boatwright, Deputy Director for Neighborhood Housing Development at D&D. I'm pleased to be here today to present this accept and expend vote for the Rose Architectural Fellowship, a very exciting opportunity for the city to build staff capacity through an engagement with Enterprise Community Partners, a national leader in affordable housing policy, design, scholarship, and finance. I've prepared a slide that outlines the mission of the Rose Fellowship and D&D's goals for our proposed fellowship. If it goes up, you'll see it. If not, it's sort of background for what I'm about to say. The proposal before you is to accept and expend a Rose Architectural Fellowship grant from Enterprise Community Partners in the amount of $136,000. This grant will be utilized to hire an architectural fellow as a full-time employee for 2 years. The fellow will work in the design unit of D&D's Division of Neighborhood Housing Development, and the anticipated start date for the fellow is October 1st, 2020. The fellow will add much needed capacity to our design unit. During their 2 years at D&D, they will contribute to the design review of projects the agency funds and support a number of special initiatives, including the next phase of Boston's additional dwelling unit policy, refining our Neighborhood Homes Initiative program, and offering design solutions to improve public engagement with our projects. The Rose Fellowship was established in 2000 to partner architects, landscape architects, and community-based designers with local community organizations to facilitate an inclusive approach that results in sustainable, healthy, and affordable communities. The fellowship attracts early to mid-career design professionals who are looking to commit themselves to a career in socially impactful design and affordable housing. The fellowship is highly competitive for both fellows and hosts. Boston was excited to be selected in January as a host along with 6 other finalists from around the country, communities from which we can learn and exchange ideas over the next 2 years. I'm very enthusiastic about this chance to promote best practices through design. I respectfully request that the PFC grant approval to accept and expend this Enterprise Rose Architectural Fellowship grant. I'm happy to answer any questions.
Thank you, Jessica. Any questions?
No questions for me.
Okay.
I make the motion that we approve.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thanks, Jessica.
Thanks.
Vote number 1 is hereby approved. Vote number 2 is being presented by Shawnee Fletcher. She is a development officer with the Neighborhood Housing Development Division of D&D. Vote 2 is a request for conveyance to Mission Hill Health Movement Incorporated for vacant land located at 6 to 8 Gore Street, Roxbury. The purchase price is $100. Shawnee, if you please present vote number 2.
Thank you, TT, and good morning, commissioners.
Morning.
I'm here requesting PFC approval for the conveyance to Mission Hill Health Movement Incorporated, hereafter referred to as MHHM, for the parcel identified in the vote package in the Roxbury neighborhood of Boston. This matter was last before you in August of 2020, when PFC voted to approve the extension of the tentative developer designation of MHHM. To refresh the commission's memory, BND conducted a public process that led to that vote and this subsequent request. BND met with community residents to discuss the inclusion of the above parcel in a multi-parcel development RFP at community meetings on June 9, 2016, July 21st, 2016, and November 10th, 2016. Based on community feedback, it was determined that the best uses for the Gore Street parcel would be a community garden and/or housing. After receiving resident support for such uses, BND issued the RFP on March 13th, 2017. It was advertised in the State Central Register and the Boston Herald. 2 development teams applied to the RFP regarding this parcel and were determined to meet the eligibility criteria. One proposal was from Habitat for Humanity for housing, and the other was MHHM's proposal for the community garden. The applicants were invited to a community meeting to present their proposals, and support was overwhelming in favor of the community garden. PFC approved the designation of Mission Hill Health Movement Incorporated on June 13th, 2018, and the designation was advertised in the city record on July 9th and July 16th, 2018. PFC approved an extension of MHHM's tentative designation on August 19th, 2020. Since designation, MHHM has received a commitment of $62,000 in development funds from the grassroots program, completed a tax abatement process, appointed a board member as project manager, hired a construction manager, and worked with a contractor hired by D&D to begin water installation on site. The vote package includes a comprehensive memo about the project and PFC vote request. We have also provided handouts related to this vote request, which are displayed on the screen. The first shows an aerial map of the parcel. The second is a photo showing existing conditions of the site. And the third shows the final design of the community garden. It includes raised garden beds, including wheelchair accessible beds, educational and gathering space, blackberry bushes at the front, and a rainwater catchment system and native shade plants. This project has the support of City Councilor Kenzie Bach, Wentworth Institute, direct abutters, and many neighborhood residents. In summary, if PFC approves the vote request, it will result in the following public benefits: return vacant property and D&D's inventory for 14 years into productive use, preserve more than 2,500 square feet of land as protected open space, and create a community garden in a neighborhood challenged by inequitable food access. I am here to answer any questions you may have. Thank you.
Thanks, Jenny. Any questions, comments from the commissioners?
No questions.
No question, just a comment. Great work. You guys not only create much needed affordable housing, but also viable open space. I make a motion that we approve.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Vote number 2 is hereby approved. Vote number 3 is being presented by Ann Conway. She is a Housing Development Officer with the Neighborhood Housing Development Division of D&D. Vote number 3 is a request for tentative developer designation and intent to sell to Norfolk Design and Construction LLC for a period of 24 months for vacant land located at 14 to 14A, 15 to 15A, and 17 Holborn Street in Roxbury, Dorchester. The purchase price is $300. And if you would please present vote number 3.
Thank you, TT, and good morning, Commissioners. I will be presenting one vote request today. I'm here requesting the PFC approval for the tentative designation of Norfolk Design and Construction LLC for the parcels identified in Vote Package 3 in the Dorchester-Roxbury section of Boston. These parcels are offered under the Mayor's Neighborhood Homes Initiative. D&D conducted an extensive public process that resulted in this vote request. A community meeting was held April 23rd, 2019 to discuss the development of the parcels. A request for proposals was then issued on March 9th, 2020 and advertised in the State Central Register, City Record, and the Boston Herald. 7 development teams applied to the RFP and 5 were determined to have met the eligibility criteria. As a preferred developer, Norfolk Design and Construction LLC was invited to a virtual community meeting on July 30th, 2020 to present their proposal, where they received very positive feedback. And based on this community feedback and the D&D review of all eligible applications against the RFP evaluation criteria, we recommend the tentative developer designation of Norfolk Design and Construction LLC. Norfolk Design and Construction demonstrated the strongest track record of development, is the most experienced of the development groups, and has the capacity to take on the development. Furthermore, Norfolk Design and Construction outlined the most competitive development budget. In addition to their experience, Norfolk Design and Construction's application provided evidence of the group's ability to access financing. Norfolk Design and Construction is a certified minority business enterprise and a veteran-owned company. They also included a detailed plan to engage local and minority contractors and subcontractors to maximize diversity through its bidding process. The vote package includes a comprehensive memo about the project and the PFC vote request. I've also provided 5 handouts related to this vote request, which are to be displayed on the screen. The first image is a satellite view of the sites. Next slide, please. The second and third display the existing conditions and locus maps of the parcels. Next slide, please. The third, fourth, and fifth are renderings of the proposed development building types. And 15A will also include the 2-family shown under 14A. So these are the 4 structures that will be built if approved. In summary, if PFC approves the vote request, it will result in the following public benefits. The project will result in a total of 6 new affordable units consisting of 2 2-family structures, ownership and rental, and 2 single-family homes, ownership. The homes will be all affordable, split between 80% AMI and 100% AMI. And the affordability mix will include 2 middle-income sales plus 1 rental unit and 2 moderate-income sales plus 1 rental unit. All the units will be deed restricted and remain affordable for 50 years. The project will revitalize 3 parcels of underutilized vacant land in the neighborhood. The parcels have been in the city's inventory ranging from 30 to 47 years. The project is also expected to create 9,765 construction hours, which will generate jobs among building trades. And by removing these parcels from the city inventory, the city will be able to avoid the future costs and liabilities associated with maintaining these properties by passing on the responsibility to Norfolk Design and Construction. Lastly, by returning these properties to the tax rolls, the city can expect to recoup an additional $15,547 in annual tax revenue. I'm here to answer any questions you may have. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Any questions or comments from the commissioners?
One comment, it's a great project, but one quick question. So Norfolk Design this winter, if they're designated today, will actually be responsible for snow removal and so forth? Things like that, so they take over maintenance of the site once they're designated?
Yes, once they receive the designation.
Okay, thank you.
I'd like to echo Commissioner Memoli and make a motion for us to approve.
Second.
All in favor? Aye.
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 Thank you.
Vote number 3 is hereby approved. Vote number 4 is being presented by Kirsten Studland. He is the project manager with the Neighborhood Housing Development Division of D&D. Vote 4 is a request for conveyance to Seth Andrea McCoy and Miguel Chavez for land with building thereon located at 22 Kenilworth Street, Roxbury. The purchase price is suggested at $150,000. Kirsten, if you would please present vote number 4.
Thanks, TT. Good morning, Commissioners. I'm here requesting PFC approval for the conveyance to Seth McCoy and Miguel Chavez of the parcel identified in the vote package as 22 Kenilworth Street in the Roxbury neighborhood of Boston. As background, D&D worked with community partners, including the Highland Park Project Review Committee in 2018 to issue an RFP for development of the site. The RFP was publicly advertised pursuant to Chapter 30B requirements and was issued on March 18th of 2019. D&D received 3 responses that met the RFP eligibility criteria, and the 3 teams presented their respective plans at a community meeting in June of 2019, followed by a 2-week public comment period. The community voiced strong support for the proposal submitted by Ms. McCoy and Mr. Chavez, and D&D's review of the proposals determined theirs to be the most advantageous as well. Ms. McCoy and Mr. Chavez were recommended and approved for tentative developer designation at the September 19th, 2019 PFC meeting. Today's vote package includes a comprehensive memo about the project and PFC vote request. I've also provided handouts related to the vote request, which are displayed on the screen. The first is a site map. The second is an image showing the existing site and the building on it. And the third is a floor plan and rendering of the renovated building. Ms. McCoy and Mr. Chavez are proposing a renovation of the existing building that will preserve its historic appearance and character, and part of the home will be made into a rental unit with an 80% AMI affordability level. Since PFC approved the developer designation of Ms. McCoy and Mr. Chavez, they have completed design work and submitted their application for a building permit to ISD. They've also advanced their financing commitment with Salem 5 Bank, which has nearly completed their underwriting with the intention of closing in the coming weeks. If PFC approves the vote request, Ms. McCoy and Mr. Chavez will be able to move forward with closing on the sale of the property and begin their renovation work this fall. The project will result in the following public benefits: renovation of a historically significant home in Roxbury, whose preservation is of importance to the surrounding community, 1 new home ownership and 1 new affordable deed-restricted rental unit available at 80% AMI with no additional subsidy, payment to the city of $150,000 for land acquisition, return of the property to the city tax rolls with an estimated $7,332 in annual tax revenue, and a $9,000 financial commitment from Ms. McCoy and Mr. Chavez to support 3 community organizations in Roxbury for the next 5 years. I'm here to answer any questions that you may have. Thanks.
Thank you. Any questions, comments?
No questions, great project.
Yep, great project. I make a motion that we approve.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you.
Vote number 4 is hereby approved. The remainder of the votes are being presented by Christopher Rooney. He is a development officer with the Neighborhood Housing Development Division of D&D. Vote number 5 is a request for tentative developer designation and intent to sell to Habitat for Humanity Greater Boston Incorporated for a period of 24 months for vacant land located at 174 Norfolk Street, an unnumbered parcel on Norfolk Street, and 180 Norfolk Street, Dorchester. The purchase price is $131,000. Chris, if you please present vote number 5.
Thank you. Good morning, Commissioners. I am requesting PFC approval for the tentative developer designation of Habitat for Humanity Greater Boston, Inc. for the parcels identified in the vote package in the Dorchester neighborhood of Boston. D&D conducted a public process that resulted in this vote request. D&D conducted community meetings on February 13th, 2019 and May 22nd, 2019. A request for proposals was issued on January 27th, 2020 and advertised in the State Central Register and Boston Herald. 3 development teams applied to the RFP on March 3rd, 2020 and were determined to meet the eligibility criteria. 2 development teams presented their proposals to neighborhood residents during a virtual community meeting on June 30th, 2020. Based on D&D review of all eligible applications against the RFP evaluation criteria, community feedback, we recommend the tentative developer designation of Habitat for Humanity Greater Boston, Inc. The vote package includes a comprehensive memo about the project and the PFC vote request. I have also provided handouts related to this vote request that are displayed on the screen. The first is a site map. The second is a street view, existing conditions photo of the site. The next is a rendering of the site. The next is another rendering from the opposite direction. And the third is a site plan. Thank you.
Thanks, Christopher. Any questions, comments?
I'm not done. Sorry, Catherine. In summary, if PFC approves the vote request, it will result in the following public benefits. The new construction of a 7-unit affordable residential building. The units will be affordable home ownership to be sold to households earning between 50% and 80% of the area median income. And I would like to note that historically, Habitat's families are closer to the 50% AMI than the 80. There will be 7 off-street parking spaces. The project will revitalize 3 parcels of underutilized vacant land in the neighborhood. The project is also expected to create construction hours and generate jobs among the building trades. The sale of these parcels can be expected to yield both short and long-term financial benefits to the city. By removing these parcels from D&D's inventory, the city will avoid future costs and liabilities associated with maintaining the property. The city stands to save an estimated $2,500 in annual operational costs, including log clearance and snow removal, by transferring responsibility for property maintenance to Habitat for Humanity Greater Boston, Inc. In addition, by returning these parcels to the tax rolls, the city will recoup annual property tax revenue. I can answer any questions that you may have.
Sorry about that, Christopher. Now,
That's all right.
any questions?
No questions.
Yeah, great project. I'm not sure if I like the color. I hope that's not the final color. But
As you know, usually what we first encounter goes through a lot of design review. So when this is ready to come back for conveyance, you'll probably see a slightly different building and probably definitely a different color.
Thank you. I make a motion that we approve.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Vote number 5 is hereby approved. Vote number 6 is a request for tentative developer designation and intent to sell to the People's Academy Incorporated for a period of 24 months for vacant land located at 436 Warren Street, 7 and 9 Quincy Street, and 20 to 22 Glenburn Street, Roxbury. The purchase price is $300. Chris, if you would please present vote number 6.
Thank you. I'm requesting PFC approval for the tentative developer designation of the People's Academy, Inc. for the parcels identified in the vote package in the Roxbury neighborhood of Boston. D&D conducted a public process that resulted in this vote request. D&D conducted a community meeting on April 3rd, 2019. A request for proposals was issued on February 10th, 2020 and advertised in the State Central Register and Boston Herald. 4 development teams applied to the RFP on May 22nd, 2020 and were determined to meet eligibility criteria. 2 development teams were invited to present their proposals to neighborhood residents during a virtual community meeting on June 25th, 2020. Based on D&D review of all eligible applications against the RFP evaluation criteria and community feedback, we recommend the tentative developer designation of the People's Academy, Inc. The vote package includes a comprehensive memo about the project and PFC vote request. I have also provided handouts related to this vote request that are displayed on the screen. The first is a site map. The second is an image of 436 Warren Street. The third is an image of 7 to 9 Quincy Street and 20 to 22 Glenburn Street. The fourth is a rendering of the proposed building. And the fifth is an aerial perspective of the proposed building. And the sixth is the site plan. In summary, if PFC approves the vote request, it will result in the following public benefits. The new construction of a mixed-use building consisting of 14,100 square feet of institutional space, which will include a workshop, machine shop, classroom, break room, and office for the People's Academy's pre-apprentice training program, 49 affordable residential units for students of the pre-apprentice program, 2,000 square feet of commercial space, 11 on-site parking spaces, dedicated bicycle storage, and an off-street loading area to minimize the impact on local traffic. The project will revitalize 3 parcels of underutilized vacant land in the neighborhood. And the project is also expected to create construction hours and generate jobs among building trade. The sale of these parcels can be expected to yield both long and short-term financial benefits to the city. By removing these parcels from D&D's inventory, the city will avoid future costs and liabilities associated with maintaining the property. The city stands to save an estimated $3,400 in annual operational costs by transferring responsibility for property maintenance to the People's Academy, Inc. In addition, by returning these parcels to the tax rolls, the city will recoup annual property tax revenue. And I can answer any questions you may have.
No questions. Sounds like a great project.
Yes, I can't say that this has gotten overwhelming public support. We were, I don't know if you ran through the proposal, there was, you know, hundreds, if not thousands of letters and signatures, and the support of the city council was overwhelming. I've never seen so many letters of support from the council before. It's a really good program. It's been in existence for a while. They've been looking for a home for a long time. We're familiar with them. And we're really happy that we think we found a space that's going to work for everybody, and we're really excited to get going with them.
That's great.
Yeah, very amazing project, very exciting. Make a motion that we approve.
Second.
All in favor? Aye.
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 Vote number 6 is hereby approved. The final vote for today is vote number 7. It is a request for conveyance to Vietnamese American Initiative for Development Incorporated for vacant land located at 191 Bowden Street, Dorchester. The purchase price is suggested at $100. Chris, if you would please present vote number 7.
Thank you. I'm requesting PFC approval for the tentative designation of the Vietnamese American Initiative for Development, Inc., also commonly known as Viet Aid, for the parcel identified in the vote package in the Dorchester neighborhood of Boston. D&D conducted a public process that resulted in this vote request. A community meeting was held to discuss the development of the parcel on October 20th, 2015. A request for proposals was issued on January 18th, 2016, and advertised in the State Central Register and Boston Herald. 2 development teams applied to the RFP and were determined to meet the eligibility criteria. Both eligible developers were invited to a community meeting to present their proposals. Viet Aid accepted, the other developer declined. PFC approved the tentative developer designation of the Vietnamese American Initiative for Development, Inc. on October 5th, 2016. The designation was advertised in the City Record on October 31st and November 7th, 2016. Tentative designation time extensions were approved by PFC on September 22nd, 2017, and again on September 19th, 2018. The vote package includes a comprehensive memo about the project and the PFC vote request. I have also provided handouts related to this vote request that are displayed on the screen. The first is a site map. The second is images of the current site. The third is a rendering of the proposed building. The fourth is an aerial perspective of the proposed building. And the fifth is a site plan. In summary, if PFC approves the vote request, it will result in the following public benefits. New construction of a mixed-use building consisting of 41 affordable residential rental units, 6,060 square feet of commercial space, 900 square feet of community meeting space, a 3,500 square foot open plaza, and 46 off-street parking spaces. All residential units will be affordable to households with incomes at or below 60% of the area median income. 12 of those will be affordable to households at or below 30% of the area median income. And 4 of the 30% AMI units will be set aside for homeless households. The sale of these parcels can be expected to yield both long and short-term financial benefits to the city. By removing the parcel from the D&D's inventory, the city will avoid future costs and liabilities associated with maintaining the property. The city stands to save an estimated $750 in annual operational costs by transferring responsibility for property maintenance to the Vietnamese American Initiative for Development. In addition, by returning these parcels to the tax rolls, the city will recoup annual property tax revenue. I can answer any questions that you may have.
Thank you. Any questions?
Oh, sounds like a great project. When are they expected to start construction? I assume spring?
This fall, we're working now. As a matter of fact, the business meeting with all the lenders is this afternoon, and we'll start closing calls shortly after, and the intent is to close and start construction this fall.
Excellent.
Yeah, congratulations. I must add that there have been challenges and concerns from the community about this particular parcel going back probably 2 decades. So I know it's been a long journey, so congratulations.
Thank you, Commissioner. I've been involved with this project since we foreclosed on it, and it has been a long haul. And this past process, I mean, we designated this back in 2016. And, you know, it's been going through the funding rounds, and we're at the finish line, and we're really excited. It's going to make a huge difference in Bowdoin, Geneva. It's going to be a great project. We're really excited.
Yeah, absolutely. You're going to make a lot of people happy with this. I make a motion that we approve.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Good docket today, guys.
Vote number 7 is hereby approved. Is there a motion to adjourn this meeting?
I make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
We are adjourned. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Great job, team.
Thank
Great
you.
job.
Excellent job.